Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the pre-stressed concrete lecture. Just going through what we have talked about till date. So we have talked about basic concepts of pre-stressing, then advantages and applications of pre-stressed concrete. Then we have extensively talked about high-strength concrete, the properties like starting from ingredients, then permissible stresses, shrinkage, creep, and deformation characteristics. Okay, and uh, from this session onwards, we'll talk about high strength steel and what types of high strength steels are available, and strength properties, permissible stresses, and relaxation of stress cover requirements for protection of high strength steel. So, we have talked about these things in your Unit 1 syllabus. Then we are talking about this one. Okay, right. So, what is high strength steel? And so, the strength of steel having 4 to 5 times of normal steel, what we termed as high strength steel. It is defined earlier in the introduction content itself, right? So the development of pre-stressed concrete was actually influenced by the invention of high-strength steel. Without this high-strength steel, we can't imagine a pre-stressed concrete because in the initial introductory content itself, we have talked about the need for high-strength steel because when you use normal steel for pre-stressing the concrete, the stress pre-stress which you induce in the concrete is lost, and the final remaining pre-stress is almost negligible, zero. Hence, there is no point in calling it as pre-stressed concrete. So the strain that is developed by the pulling the steel to induce pre-stress in the concrete, the strain that you create in the steel that is lost because of the different losses that we will be talking about. Okay, so what is it a pre-stressed concrete needs is a high strength steel. So that high strength steel is an alloy of iron, carbon, manganese, and optional materials. Okay. In addition to pre-stressing steel, we will also be using conventional non-pre-stressed reinforcement, that is just HYSD bars and all, for sometimes flexural capacity and shear capacity and temperature shrinkage requirements. For these things, you need conventional steel. So, in a pre-stressed concrete member, we will have high strength steel as well as conventional steel, both. Pre-stressed high strength steel is required for inducing pre-stress, and conventional steel is required for shear capacity to enhance, and temperature requirements, and then shrinkage requirements. Okay, that this about the basic content, uh, why pre-stressing steel is required and what is it, and talks about different forms of pre-stressing steel. So first form and very fundamental is wire, a pre-stressing wire. So wire is a single unit made of steel, and the diameters available are starting from 2.5 mm and 3, 4, 5, 7, and till 8 mm. Okay, and among wires we have again two types. One is a plain wire, another one is indented wire. Plain wire in the sense we don't have any indentations on the surface, whereas indented wire, there will be circular or elliptical indentations on the surface. So a wire is a single unit and available in diameter starting from 2.5 mm to 8 mm till 8 mm. And there are two types of wires again, plain and indented wires, according to the dependency. Okay, where if you want the bond strength to be improved, we will use indented wire. Okay, right. That's about the first form of prestressing steel, which is wire. Then strand. So strand is like a few wires are spun together in a helical form to form a pre-stressing strand. Okay, so you take few wires and then twist them uh, in the helical form, that will become strand. Okay, so there will be three types of strands available. There is a 2-wire strand, and there is a 3-wire strand, and there is a 7-wire strand. Okay, so 2-wire strand means we'll take two wires, then we'll spun together to form a strand. Then 3 wires are spun together to form a strand. Then 7 wires, where 6 wires are spun around a central wire, which is the central wire is larger than other wires. Okay, so that is about the strands. So what you see, this is a strand, which is a 7-wire strand, 3, 3, and 1. So this is one such 7-wire strand here available. Likewise, there are several strands available. Okay, so a tendon, okay, a group of strands or wires are placed together to form a pre-stressing tendon. So this whole lot of thing is called a strand. Okay, total a group of strands, we call them as tendons. Okay, so a tendon is nothing but a group of strands or wires are placed together to form a pre-stressing tendon. The tendons are used in post-tension members. So in a concrete member, so you take a concrete member, we now provide a duct, okay, a space for inserting the steel, high strength steel. So that is this duct, okay, this one. Right, this is a duct in the concrete. And then once you place the tendons and tension them, after the job is over, we pour the grout. This is the grout. This portion is everything is so whatever gap you have is filled with the grout. Okay. So the stands are placed in a duct which may be filled with the grout. Okay. After the post tensioning operation is done. Okay. That is what is called tendon. So a wire, a strand, a tendon. Okay. Then cable. A group of tendons form a pre-stressing cable. Generally, cables are used in bridges because they have to now handle very high loads, tensile loads. That's why cables like such tendons, whatever you have seen earlier, like this is one tendon. Such tendons of one or more, I mean two or more, are spun together to form a cable. Okay, so a bar, a tendon can be made up of a single steel bar. The diameter of bar is much larger than that of the wire. So till 8 mm, we call that as wire. From 10 mm onwards, we call them as bars. But these are not just normal steel bars like what are available as high yield strength deformed bars. Like they are high strength steels. Okay, the strength of this 10 mm bar, which is high strength steel, right? This strength of this one is almost 4 to 5 times of HYSD bar. Both of them may be of same dia, but the strength is different. Okay, you have 10 dia in HYSD, whereas you have 10 dia bar in high strength steel also. So a tendon, you may prepare a tendon using the strands and also a single steel bar. Okay, and you can see this diagram that will show you the difference between normal reinforcing bars, which are HOSD, and prestressing steels. Okay, so this is a wire, strand, a cable, then a single bar. Okay, so this is how the high strength steel, okay, is available. These are very normal HYSD bars, like different dias. Okay, these are all different dia steel bars, HOSD bars. So that's about forms of steel. Okay, so you have wire, strand, tendon, and a cable and a bar. Okay, these are the different forms that are available. Depending on that, you may use depending on your requirement. Then, what types of pre-stressing steels are available? The steel is treated to achieve the desired properties. The treatment process are different for different types of steels. So one such treatment process, what we call is cold drawing or cold working. So cold drawn bars or cold drawn steel means what? So it is prepared by rolling the bars through a series of dies. So what happens because of that rolling of the bars through a series of dies? It realigns the crystals and increases the strength. That is a process. Then we have stress relieving bars, stress relieving process. So what is that? It is done by heating the strand to about 350 degrees centigrade, cooling slowly. So this reduces plastic deformation of the steel after yielding. So we know that the after yielding of steel, after yielding, there will be plastic deformation. So this will be reduced. Plastic deformation will be reduced if this process is done. Stress relieving. Okay, and strain tempering for low relaxation. So this process is done by heating the strand to about 350, same, while it is under tension. So this also improves the stress strain behavior of the steel by reducing the plastic deformation after the onset of yielding. In addition, means the same use is carried here. Okay, because you are heating it and cooling it slowly there, whereas here, when a bar is under tension, you are heating it. So in addition to that, the relaxation loss is reduced. Okay. So what is relaxation? We will be studying for steel. It is a property of steel, relaxation. Okay. So this is a like types of steels that we have, and according to IS code also gives you some types of steels. So the class 5.6 uh, gives you the following types of steels: plain cold drawn stress relieved wires, which is one type. Plain as drawn wires is another type. Indented cold drawn wire, okay, and high tensile steel bar, and uncoated stress relieved strand. So these are the types of steels that uh, are prescribed by the IS code. Okay. So the following types of steels are specified by the IS code in class 5.6. So Just open your IS code 1343, go for class 5.6. You can find that types of steels that, which I'll be showing you. Okay, right. What properties of pre-stressing steel are there? Okay, so it should be a good quality that it needs the following attributes. It needs high strength. We need no, we need adequate ductility and we need adequate bendability. Okay, where we need high bond. Okay, where pretension members which we will use it, and there should be low relaxation to reduce the loss, and there should be minimum corrosion. These are the properties which we require for pre-stressed steel. Okay, pre-stressing steel, right? So this is about the uh, introductory content about high strength steel, what types of steels are available, what forms are available. Okay, all that, and how the IS code is giving you the different forms of steel that I'll show you. Class 5.6, you have the copy of the code. Just keep open that IS code for class 5.6. So you can see that this is 5.6 pre-stressing steel. Okay, so class 5.6 is like pre-stressing and untensioned steel both. So pre-stressing steel talks about 561, class 561. As I said, so plain hard drawn steel wire, indented wire, and high tensile steel bar, uncoated stress relieved strand, uncoated stress relieved low relaxation 7 ply strand. Okay, so these are the types of steels that is prescribed by the IS code. Okay, and to what code they shall conform, all that is mentioned here. Okay, and also specifies some of the precautionary measures, like it should be free from welded joints, splits, harmful scratches, surface flaws, all that rough job, imperfect edges. Okay, other defects, it should be perfect in all respects. Okay, so this is about and it talks about mechanical properties, and it talks about even untensioned steel also, like normal conventional steel, mild steel, HYSD bars, hard run steels, like. Okay, so 5.6, class 5.6 completely talks about pre-stressing and untensioned steel. Okay, right. So that's all for today. We'll talk about the strength of pre-stressing steel in the next session. Okay, right. Thank you.